I want you to start thinking about your habits not as these mysterious, uncontrollable forces, but as a machine, a system, something that can be understood, taken apart, and most importantly, re-engineered to work for you, not against you. And guess what? We've got the blueprint right here.
So first things first, we've got to understand the fundamental physics that powers this entire machine. It's this invisible force that shapes everything from your bank account to your health. But honestly, our brains are just not wired to appreciate its true power.
We hear this all the time, right? Just get 1% better every day. And it sounds so small, so manageable. It almost sounds insignificant. But what if that's a huge misunderstanding of how progress actually works? We tend to think in straight lines, but the math of growth, well, it's a whole different game.
Okay, so look on the left. That's our normal linear expectation. We think, okay, 1% better each day for a year, that should make me about 3.5 times better. And hey, that's not bad. But now look at the right. This is the compounding reality. See, those small, consistent efforts, they don't just add up. They build on each other. They multiply.
And that compounding reality, it leads to this. After 1 year, that tiny 1% daily improvement doesn't just make you a few times better. It makes you almost 38 times better. That's not just improvement. That is the explosive, mind-bending power of aggregation.
And this chart just shows the journey so perfectly. I mean, look at the first 90 days. The progress is barely even noticeable. Even halfway through the year, it's still pretty modest. But then, whoosh, the curve just shoots for the sky. This right here is the fundamental equation of the habit machine. Consistent, small inputs don't just create big outputs, they create massive, exponential outputs.
So if the math is that powerful, why do we fail all the time? Why do we give up on the diet, the gym routine, learning that new skill? Well, it's because we fall into the gap. It's this dangerous place where all our effort feels like it's adding up to nothing.
This quote sums it up perfectly. It's all about something called the Plateau of Latent Potential. Think about a stone cutter just hammering away at a huge rock, 100 swings and not a single crack. It looks like he's failing, but all that work is doing something. The tension is building up inside the stone. It just hasn't shown itself yet. And this is that valley. This is where most good intentions go to die. We get so frustrated because the results we're seeing in the real world, that slow starting compounding curve, they just don't match up with the straight line of progress we have in our heads. We think our effort is being wasted because we can't see the payoff right away.
Here's a great way to think about it. Picture an ice cube in a cold room. You slowly start raising the temperature from 28 degrees to 29 to 30, 31 degrees. You're putting all this energy in, right? But what's happening to the ice cube? Nothing. It's just a solid block of ice. But that energy isn't wasted. It's being stored. And then you get to 32 degrees. Just one more degree and bam! You get this massive change, a phase shift from solid to liquid. Your habits work the exact same way.
Okay, so let's pop the hood and look at the engine itself. Because every single habit you have, the good, the bad, the ugly, it's all run by the same exact 4-stroke neurological loop. And once you understand this, it's like finally getting the owner's manual for your own brain.
Now, this isn't just a simple to-do list. It's a non-stop, self-reinforcing circuit that's running in the background of your brain 24/7. It's an engine that was designed for one thing and one thing only: efficiency. It automates your behavior so you can save your precious brain power for more important stuff.
So here are the 4 strokes of the engine. It all starts with a cue. That's the trigger that gets your brain's attention. That cue then creates a craving, which is really a prediction about a change in how you'll feel. That craving drives you to a response. That's the habit itself. And finally, you get a reward, which satisfies the craving and, this is the key part, teaches your brain that this whole loop is worth remembering and repeating.
And what's so fascinating is how this one engine can create totally different results. Let's take procrastination. The cue, feeling stuck on a project. The craving, to feel relief. The response, check your phone. The reward, that temporary feeling of relief. The engine works perfectly. Now for exercise. The cue is seeing your running shoes by the door. The craving is for that endorphin rush. The response is to go for a run. The reward is that awesome feeling of accomplishment. See? Same engine, totally different destinations.
Okay, but here's the really crucial part. If you want to permanently change what this machine produces, you can't just tinker with the engine's gears. You have to go deeper. You have to upgrade the power source itself.
This is probably the biggest mistake we all make. We start with the outcome, what we want to get. We focus on losing 20 pounds or writing a novel. But real, lasting change just doesn't work that way. It's an inside-out job. It starts with asking a much more powerful question. Who do I wish to become?
So we almost always start out here, on the outer ring, the outcomes. This is the what. It's the tangible result we can see and measure, like, I want to publish a book. Then, if we're a little savvier, we move one layer in to the processes. This is the how. These are the systems and habits that get us to those outcomes. So to publish a book, my process might be write 500 words every single day. This is definitely better, but we're still not at the real source of change.
Because this is the power source. Right at the very core is your identity. This is the who. It's what you believe about yourself. You see, the goal isn't to write 500 words. The goal is to become a writer. The goal isn't to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. This is the difference between a temporary fix and a permanent upgrade to your operating system.
And this is how you actually do it. It's so simple but so powerful. Every time you sit down and write, even when you don't feel like it, you are casting a vote for I am a writer. Every time you lace up your shoes and get out the door, you're casting a vote for I am a runner. Your habits are just the way you embody your identity. The outcomes, they're just a lagging measure of who you've become. So, after laying out this entire blueprint, from the physics of compounding to the engine of the habit loop, and all the way down to the power source of identity, what's the final system update we need to install?
It really all comes down to this. Goals are great, don't get me wrong. They give you a direction to point your ship, but it's your systems that actually get you there. Your system is that collection of daily habits which grow directly from your identity. So stop obsessing about the finish line and start focusing on building a machine, a system that makes success the logical, inevitable output. Because in the end, that's what truly determines where you end up.